Night's Waking Samurai Woolen Outlanders. My name is Nebula, and I've decided to give you a special double upload for today, just because I haven't uploaded for at least a month now, and I want to discuss this important point as it's something that people seem to be mentioning more and more as we get closer to the Mighty movie, and it's a sad point, but a crucial one that I still want to discuss, and I do actually want to see what others think of this idea, and I'd like to invite anyone who wishes to make their own video discussing the idea to just make it. Basically, following from me, anyone who wants to make their own video on this idea, use the hashtag what comes after the Mighty movie, and to give you an idea for the point of the video, it's basically like, will the Mighty movie be the end of the Paw Patrol theatrical run? I want to see what everyone else thinks of this, and I want to see if people make a video to showcase what they think, and I think it would be really good to see. Anyways, um, I'll begin with my theory on this, obviously. As we all know, the Mighty movie will be the second Paw Patrol theatrical movie, following on from the first theatrical movie back in 2021, simply named Paw Patrol the Movie. And if the theme of having the theatrical movies continues past this year, then that means that 2025 would be when the next movie, if there was one, would get its time to shine and release. Waiting for it wouldn't be too much of a problem for the fandom since we've done it twice before now, but I'm not actually thinking about us, I'm thinking about the directors. Now, because if they decide on a third movie and go ahead with it, then that means Cal Bronker and Bob Barlin would have been working on Paw Patrol movies for 6 years, okay? Just put that in perspective. If we're counting that from the official time production on the first movie started back in 2019, give or take. So 6 years, more than half a decade on Paw Patrol movies. As much as they may love these movies, I do worry that they may be a little worn out with the IP and may choose to make something else. And to be fair, it's not just them that might be tired of it, it's Micros as well. And you should all know just how long a process animation can be. And I believe it can be quite draining as well, getting something exactly right. And I've no doubt that animator friends of mine like Blizz and Shaq understand the pressure of getting something near perfect and how long it takes to really get something exactly right. Anyways, that's the first thing. The second problem that it's facing is the idea that the idea itself of the movies may fall flat and be a little bit less interesting going into a third. And what I mean by that is, what exactly could be the next gimmick? Because we had bigger city adventure with higher stakes, then it's going to be superheroes with even bigger stakes and powers, obviously. What exactly could be next that's going a step further with scale and action? And not very much stuff comes to mind aside from them maybe going to space, but that might be a bit of a letdown compared to the like superhero gimmick of the Mighty movie, and it makes me worried that nothing will live up to the scale of that. And if they did do a third one, it's going to just feel a little underwhelming. I hate to say it. Um, but it's not just that. It's the idea that we'll already know the other gimmick for those movies going forward, which is that we know another pup will receive their backstory, since that seems to be what the theatrical movies excel at doing and what they are keen to do. And while yes, it would be credible to see what would most likely be Marshall's backstory. The problem is that there's no suspense or build up into whether we would get one or not, because it's just that. It's like we know it because it's the theme of the movies, and we would just know it from there. And it would more than likely be a third one coming in a third. Sorry, there would be another backstory coming in the third movie, which means the sense of the scale of it is kind of like, oh, well, we already know. There's no build up knowing with this. Where it's like, oh, right, another one. I wonder which pup's backstory it's going to be this time. At the very least, with the first and second, there was the idea that we didn't know. The first to the second, there was maybe that time thinking, could we still get one? It might not be. They might not want to do the same thing again, but no, that's the whole point. We were in suspense thinking, but since we know we're getting one in the second, skies obviously, then the suspense of knowing if we get one kinda just isn't going to be there. Now, here's my final thoughts. At the end of the day, I'm 50-50 when it does come to this idea, and I'll be fine with whatever the outcome would be. Now, I will say this much as well, a certain hint from back in January suggests that this idea may be real, and I have actually referenced this numerous times, and it's what Jennifer Doge said from this article that you'll see here, which says specifically, as we continue to expand the Paw Patrol universe for fans, and follow the pups on mightier missions and explore their backstories. Implies to me, which this implies to me that they maybe already have plans to do a third movie, because she is talking about this in the plural tense. But she might just be referring to something else that could just be like a small mini TV project. We don't know. It's not confirmed, but it might hint towards it, that's all. Also, one last thing. Back in 2021, I made a video saying why there won't be a sequel to the Paw Patrol movie, and I was proven wrong so hard when, not even maybe a couple weeks later, um, Cal Brunker came out with the tweet saying that yes, we can confirm we're working on another Mighty movie, new movie. And I was like, okay. And I also discovered that Cal Brunker had actually seen that video in question, and I quote, he had to bite his tongue because he was working on the Mighty movie at the time and he wasn't able to say anything. So this time around, I just want to say, if Cal Brunker or Bob Borland happen to watch this, I just want to say that I understand if both of you decide that you're happy with leaving it at two movies and not making a third. We all appreciate all the work you've done for both movies, and we understand whatever does happen going forward. You've done so much, and like I say, we all greatly appreciate it. I also understand that you can't confirm or deny my theories here because you're more than likely under NDA, but that's perfectly fine. It's just a case of waiting to see what happens, and who knows. Again, I'm okay with whatever outcome yous have both ended up deciding at the time. Anyways, that is all for now. Like I say, when it comes to this idea, it comes down to the point where, you know, it could just be where, yes, two could just be what they end up dealing with, and we leave it there, and that's perfectly fine. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there would be people who would love to see a third, and there's people who'd rather leave it with just the Mighty movie, so it's up in the air, and it's still open both sides, you know what I mean? But please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already, and this is Nebula out, and only time will tell what will happen next. See y'all later.
But I'm cold.